Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Ark Survival Evolved on the Xbox One. Today's one is going to be something that so many of you have been asking for and that I thought you might find useful. There's not going to be too much action in today's one. I'm not sure if I'll even be able to do any single player footage. We'll see how much or how quickly I manage to go through all of this, but these are the Ark settings, the host settings that affect your single player, and if you want to host a session with friends, you can change these around and they can dramatically change your experience in Ark. They're absolutely awesome for customizing your experience. For example, if you just want to play with some friends casually, you can make it a lot easier, or you've got nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, people who just aren't good at Ark that you want to play with, you can make it super easy so they can still have fun. Or if you're a more seasoned player and you want a bit more of a challenge, you can obviously set it to more difficulty. Or if you just want the wreck skin really easily, there's a lot of things that you can change here that are going to make getting there a lot easier and a lot quicker. And then maybe once you've done that, you can go hop onto multiplayer servers where you can't change the settings and it's a bit more of a challenge. So let's go over them. Pretty simple stuff to start off with. Difficulty level. Now, a lot of you wonder what difficulty level changes. It changes the level of wild dinos and also the quality of the stuff that you get in the drop. So if this is all the way down to, I don't know what it goes down to. It goes down to 0. But basically, if it goes down to 0, the dinos are going to be really low level and the stuff that you're going to get in drops is going to be pretty bad. Now, last season, I played between 0.4 and 0.2. This gave me wild dinos around level 30 or 40. I think if you put it on 0.4 you get like level 50 or something like that, but if you put it all the way to the right you get wild dinos level 120, and these are going to have better stats than lower level dinos. So if you want more of a challenge you should do this, but on the plus side, if you tame dinos with this setting on as well, they will have better stats than the other ones. Like I say, put this up all the way to the top and you'll be getting better stuff out of the drops as well. The rest of the stuff isn't really going to matter too much to most of you guys. I'm sure it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's just go to the stuff on the right hand side that is the stuff that a lot of you are confused by and that's going to be useful. So day cycle speed, this is the amount of time in game it takes to go from midnight to midnight, so a full 24-hour day cycle. If you put this to the left it's going to go super slow, if you put it to the right it's going to go super fast. Next, daytime speed, this is the amount of time in game it takes to go from 5 AM to I think 8:30 in the evening. So if you put this to the right hand side that amount of time is going to go super quick. If you put it to the left hand side it's going to go super slow. Now you might be tempted to put it all the way down to 0 or really low if you want a long daytime. I recommend against going for that, because what it means is that sunset and sunrise are also super slow and those often are quite dark. So if you want like full daytime you end up just getting loads of sunrise and loads of sunset as well as you're decent in the middle time as well, then that's quite often not too good. So if I want a really long day, I'll often put it at maybe 0.3 or 0.6, but putting it all the way down, probably not too great, even if you want to do, if you want loads of daytime. Nighttime speed, this is the opposite, obviously. This is the amount of time it takes to get from around 8:30 in game at nighttime to 5 AM. So if you put this all the way to the right, that time's going to go super quick. All the way to the left, it's going to go super slow. Now we're on to dino damage. Now this stuff on the left-hand side here is all about AI dinos. It's about your player and AI dinos. If it's talking about your dinos, it will say character, like you can see the ones on the right do. So dino damage, if you put this all the way to the left, dinos are going to do basically no damage to you. If you put it all the way to the right, dinos are going to do loads of damage to you. So you want to make it easier all the way to the left, want to make it harder all the way to the right. Player damage, this is the amount of damage you will do to dinos, or that you will do to anything really. So if you put this all the way to the right, you as personally are going to do loads of damage to things. If you put it all the way to the left, you are going to do basically no damage to things, which I don't think you're probably going to want to do. Next up, structure damage. If you put this all the way to the left, structures are going to like die really easily because you're going to be doing a ton of damage to them. If you put it all the way to the right, structures are just going to be like unbreakable. That's a setting that you might be interested in if you're playing multiplayer or something like that. Player resistance. Now this is your resistance. So if you want to take no damage, it's going to go all the way to the left. Like if you basically want to be in God mode, you put this all the way to the left. You put it on 0. Obviously, this can help you if you're in a bit of a tricky situation. You just want to go back in and get your loot or something like that. Put that all the way to the left. I'm pretty sure you take no damage because I've tried this and I took no damage. Although I swear other times I tried it and I took a little bit of damage. I don't know for sure, but basically easy mode on the left. If you want things really difficult and you want to die in one shot to everything in the game, put it to the right. I can't imagine many of you are going to do that. Now, dino resistance, obviously, this is the amount of resistance dinos have. So if you put this all the way to the right, you're going to kill dinos really quickly. These are wild dinos, by the way. If you put it all the way to the left, wild dinos are going to just take a ton of damage. Probably if you put it all the way to the left, they'll probably take no damage, but I don't know that one for sure. Now we're on to structure resistance. Structure resistance I actually haven't played around with. It doesn't really get to affect you too much in PvE, but I can imagine because it's similar that if you put it all the way to the left, that they're going to take no damage. If you put it all the way to the right, they are going to take a high amount of damage, but I haven't played around with that one, so I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, XP multiplier. This is the amount of XP you get for doing stuff. You get XP for doing almost everything in Ark. Put it times 6 and you're going to level up faster. Basically, you're going to get to the higher levels quicker. Taming speed, again, this affects the amount that the taming bar will go up each time the wild dino eats. The wild dino you've got knocked out. So if you put this up more, you're going to tame quicker. I'm sure most of you realize that one. Harvest amount, this is the amount of stuff that you're going to get from harvesting. Now if we want a quick way to test out what the harvest amount is on the server you're playing on, you pick up a stone off of the floor and that will show you how many. If it says you get 6 stones for every one that you pick up, that means it's times 6 like we've got here. Now the next one's pretty simple. Player character water drain. If you don't want to be constantly refreshing your water bar, which I don't really find too fun, you put this a little bit lower. I've got it here on 0.3 and I barely ever have to drink. Same with food as well. If you don't want to be eating all the time, you put it down to 0.4, but obviously default is 1. I have it a little bit lower because I just find it not that fun really, constantly feeding my guy. It doesn't really add that much action to my playthroughs either. Dino character food drain. This one is actually quite important. If you put this all the way to the right, this means that things that you knock out are going to eat quicker. So if you want super mega fast taming, what you need to do is put taming speed on 6 and then put dino character food drain on 6 as well. So things that you knock out are going to eat super quickly and the taming is going to be multiplied by 6. So you can knock out anything and tame it super quick with those settings. But bear in mind, if you do this is going to affect your dinos you've got tamed as well. They're going to eat super quick, but the plus side is they're going to poop super quick. So if you don't have a Fiomia or something and you want loads of poop for fertilizer, put this all the way to the right and you can get loads of poop from your characters. Player character stamina drain, pretty self-explanatory, the amount of stamina drain that your character gets. So if you want to run around endlessly, put this all the way to the left. If you don't want to be able to sprint at all, which I can't imagine anyone would want to do, you put it to the right. Similar with the dino, same thing. If you want your dino to sprint forever without running out of stamina, put this one to the left. Player character health recovery, this obviously affects how quickly your player will recover their health. If you put it to the right, you'll recover health quicker. If you put it to the left, you'll recover health really slow. Dino character health recovery thing, exactly the same thing, just for dinos. Now these bottom ones here are extremely important for if you want to get loads and loads of materials. A lot of people were asking me on my live stream how I was managing to collect huge amounts of materials from just one swing, and it's this: if you put the harvest health all the way down to 0, when you hit something you'll get all the resources from it in that one hit. So this is for trees or stones or anything. So if you hit a tree once and you have it on times 6 harvest amount, you're going to get like 200 wood in one hit. It's very good for actually managing to keep your tools, obviously they don't wear out as easily. And if you want to just construct, if you want to basically go into I forget what you call the mode now, but if you just want to go into god mode and make stuff, you don't care about surviving, you just want to build creative mode, that's what I mean. If you just want creative mode in this game, have super fast taming, have it so that you take no damage, have harvest amount up to 6 and have harvest health down to 0, and you're basically going to be playing creative mode in god mode, which a lot of people like to do. A lot of people just like to build, they're not about the survival side. If you're about the survival side, I would just have pretty much everything on default, but maybe have some of the other things up a little bit. PvE structure decay period doesn't really matter too much, I don't think, because my structures have not decayed at all, so I'm not sure how this affects anything, but if you keep it on 1 you're going to have no troubles. And finally, resource respawn period. This is how quickly things will grow back once you've harvested them, and I love having this on 0. Ever since I've had these two on 0, harvest health and resource respawn period, it is just so much more fun. It is a little less challenging, but I think it makes it more fun to watch and it's more fun to play. So basically, if you hit a load of the trees down around where you live, they will grow back instantly. As long as there's nothing stopping them from respawning, like a foundation or something, they will grow back instantly, and it makes farming a lot quicker. So some of you have been wondering how I've managed to farm and stuff so quickly. It's because I've got these like this. So finally, how do I like to play? At the moment, I'm putting it on difficulty setting 1. When I want to kill loads of wild dinos, not for a challenge, but just to try and get some other stuff to respawn, I'll whack up the dino resistance to 6 so that they die quite easily when I'm attacking them. Obviously, if I want to tame quickly, I'll put the food drain up, and I'll put the taming speed up. But pretty much as it is now is how I have it in general. When I'm actually playing and recording, this is how I have it. I have the nighttime speed on around 3. All the other stuff pretty much default. The only things I change: XP, taming, and harvest. I think that makes it a bit more fun. I lower the water drain and the food drain, as well as stamina a little bit sometimes as well, because I don't think it's fun particularly watching me constantly stop for stamina. So the way I have these settings is basically so I can have maximum enjoyment while also being, you know, challenging enough so that it doesn't look like I'm in God mode or something. Because obviously if I never died, if there was no risk of me ever dying, I can't imagine that would be much fun to watch. But obviously for you want to change those settings so it, you know, perfectly caters to your experience. And like I said earlier, I know some of you are like, oh, what's the point in putting it in God mode and whatever, but if you put yourself in God mode, like I say, you can play with other people. They're not going to worry about dying all the time. When you're brand new to Ark, don't forget, it can be quite difficult just to survive and do the simple stuff. So there might be fun. At the end of the day, games are for fun, they're for experiencing, and there's a lot of stuff to experience in Ark, and it'd be a shame if you wouldn't be able to experience it all just because, you know, you're not incredible at the game. But then again, like I say, you probably shouldn't get too used to doing that, because then once you go into proper multiplayer servers for a bit of a challenge and whatever, you're going to be in for a bit of a shock, because obviously it is quite tough on the normal servers. But I think it's great. I think it's great that they've managed to mess around with all of this. So that's it for today's episode, guys. We went on quite a while there explaining all the stuff to do with the server settings, but I hope you found it useful. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button, and be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you want to see a whole playlist of my Ark Survival Evolved videos, there's going to be some annotations on screen now. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.